The tragic end of Eddie Guerrero, his wife finally reveals. Eddie Guerrero, one of the most beloved and charismatic WWE superstars, captivated millions with his in-ring prowess, magnetic personality, and his slogan, lie, cheat, and steal. But beneath the laughter, cheers, and high-flying moves, Eddie's life was marked by intense personal battles that tragically led to his sudden and heartbreaking death. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the final moments of Eddie Guerrero, the cause of his untimely death, and how it left the wrestling world in shock. Eddie Guerrero, a wrestling icon. Born into the legendary Guerrero wrestling family on October 9, 1967, Eddie grew up in El Paso, Texas, destined to be part of the wrestling business. His father, Gory Guerrero, was a pioneer in Lucha Libre, and Eddie followed in his footsteps, quickly gaining recognition for his technical skills, agility, and undeniable charisma. Over the years, Eddie became one of WWE's most loved performers. Whether as a villainous heel or as a fan-favorite face, Eddie had the rare ability to connect deeply with audiences, especially through his Latino heat persona. His career reached its zenith in 2004 when he won the WWE Championship, defeating Brock Lesnar in a highly emotional match at No Way Out. This victory marked not only a personal achievement for Eddie, but also a triumph for Latino representation in wrestling. Eddie was on top of the world, or so it seemed. The dark side of fame, addiction, and personal struggles. However, Eddie's success in the ring masked the deep-rooted struggles he faced in his personal life. Like many wrestlers, he led a grueling lifestyle, constant travel, physical pain, and the pressure to perform. Over time, Eddie became addicted to painkillers and alcohol. These addictions worsened throughout the 1990s, leading to significant personal and professional setbacks. In 2001, WWE released Eddie from his contract due to his substance abuse issues. At rock bottom, Eddie's life spiraled out of control, and he was involved in multiple car accidents, the most notable one occurring in 1999 when he fell asleep at the wheel due to his addiction. It wasn't just his body that was breaking down. His relationships were too. He briefly separated from his wife, Eddie Guerrero, and faced estrangement from his family. But in a classic Guerrero comeback, Eddie sought help and turned his life around. He battled through rehab, patched things up with his family, and found faith in Christianity. His 2002 return to WWE was a second chance, a resurrection of sorts, and he soon became one of the top stars of the Ruthless Aggression era. Despite his remarkable comeback, the damage had already been done to his body. The final day, November 13, 2005. The morning of November 13, 2005, started like any other day for Eddie. He was in Minneapolis, Minnesota, preparing for a WWE event. Eddie was scheduled to wrestle Batista and Randy Orton in a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. The stakes were high, and fans were eagerly anticipating the bout. That morning, Eddie was found unconscious in his hotel room by his nephew and fellow wrestler, Chavo Guerrero Jr. Chavo noticed something was terribly wrong when Eddie didn't answer his wake-up calls. He rushed into the hotel room, where he found Eddie on the bathroom floor. Chavo tried desperately to revive him, but it was too late. Eddie Guerrero had passed away at just 38 years old. The official cause of death: heart failure. Eddie Guerrero's cause of death was later confirmed as acute heart failure brought on by atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Essentially, Eddie's heart had stopped working due to the hardening of his arteries, a condition typically caused by long-term damage from high blood pressure, cholesterol buildup, and, in Eddie's case, years of substance abuse. Despite Eddie being clean for several years leading up to his death, his earlier years of addiction had taken a significant toll on his body. Years of abusing painkillers and alcohol had weakened his heart, and the wear and tear of a wrestler's life, constant physical strain, lack of rest, and high adrenaline levels compounded his cardiovascular issues. A heartbreaking loss for WWE and the wrestling world. The wrestling world was devastated by Eddie's death. WWE hosted a tribute show in his honor, where fellow wrestlers broke down in tears, recalling their memories of Eddie. Superstars like John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, and Batista all paid emotional tributes to their fallen friend. Fans around the world mourned, and the phrase "Viva la Raza" became a rallying cry to remember Eddie's larger-than-life personality. One of the most emotional moments in the aftermath of Eddie's passing was Rey Mysterio dedicating his 2006 Royal Rumble victory to his friend. Rey wore Eddie's signature armband throughout the match, and fans saw his victory as a symbolic tribute to Eddie's legacy. The wrestling curse? Eddie's death also reignited the debate about the physical and mental toll professional wrestling takes on its performers. Wrestling fans and critics began discussing the long list of wrestlers who had died prematurely, with Eddie joining a somber roster that included names like Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, and Curt Hennig. The intense travel schedule, reliance on pain medication to perform through injuries, and the emotional rollercoaster of fame and success weighed heavily on many wrestlers. Eddie's death served as a painful reminder of the darker side of the wrestling business, a business where many stars burned bright, only to be extinguished too soon. Eddie's lasting legacy. While Eddie Guerrero's life may have ended in tragedy, his legacy lives on. He wasn't just a wrestling superstar. He was an inspiration to countless fans and wrestlers. Eddie's ability to entertain, regardless of his personal struggles, earned him a place in the hearts of millions. In 2006, Eddie Guerrero was posthumously inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, an honor that cemented his place as one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. His wife, Vicky, and their daughters accepted the award on his behalf, and Eddie's signature catchphrases, "I'm your papi" and "Lie, cheat, steal," became part of wrestling folklore. In conclusion, Eddie Guerrero's death was a heartbreaking loss for WWE and fans around the world. He was a man who fought his demons, made an epic comeback, but in the end, his body couldn't withstand the years of abuse. As we remember Eddie, we celebrate not just his incredible wrestling career, but also his resilience, passion, and the love he had for his family and fans. Though he may be gone, his spirit will always live on in the hearts of wrestling fans. Viva la raza!